What is up, you guys? Welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. If you're new here, I think you're in the right place, but go ahead and check me out. Check this video out and then consider hitting that subscribe button. I am your girl EVE, and this is the Ev Effect. Look, it is crazy that I've been away, and here I am coming back, and I already have a disclaimer. But listen, I wanted to address the elephant in the room. So you will notice that I do have my top blurred out, and it's because as I was going through the edits, I realized that the graphic on my tee was not really appropriate to be on a video. At least for me, I don't think it was appropriate. And you can also tell that I am rusty because I would not have consciously thought to put this on and film a video. I was going out right after filming, so I decided, let me go ahead and get dressed and then I can head out, trying to be more efficient. But I was not putting two and two together, so that is the reason why I have my top blurred, the graphic on it, not appropriate for YouTube in my opinion. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that just in case you were wondering. That's why. Okay, so it's obvious that I have been away, and I don't want this to be another video of me coming on and expressing to you a bunch of excuses. I've been away. I mean, that's what it is, okay? But y'all, I have been in a space of, I don't know, but if I had to be completely transparent, y'all, I think I'm struggling with really finding my lane and honing in that space. It's not that I don't enjoy making videos, because I do, and I have missed you all immensely. But I also struggle with the content that I am giving you all. So the thing about me is I mainly operate from a place of passion. I'm a Pisces, okay? And what did Erykah Badu say?
Now keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
So when it comes to me and creating content, I want to be creative and different in the way that I deliver that to you guys, and B, feel good about the content that I am delivering to you guys. And I just feel like what I have been giving you all has been kind of subpar, mid, so if you will. And so I have been struggling with reigniting that spark so that I can deliver good and fresh content to you all. So I want to take it back to the very first time that I went on a hiatus, if you will. Maybe, I think 3.5 years ago. You all, I got laid off. The very first time in my life that I had ever not had a job. I started working since I was 15 years old. Okay. Always had a job, always stayed on top of my stuff, was always the responsible one. I was working at a big Fortune 500, 100 company, a big name company that I thought was going to be like the company that I retired from. And I got laid off. And I wasn't really prepared, if you will, to go through that journey because, like I said, at the age of 15, always had a job, always stayed on top of my stuff. And so it just kind of caught me by surprise. But thinking about it in retrospect, I should have prepared myself because I was in a industry where layoffs was pretty volatile and pretty normal, unfortunately. And so I had made it through 3 other scenarios like that in that same company, but that last time it got me. So the very first time I had a hiatus, it was because of that. And I was dealing with that and trying to manage my way. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go hard in the paint with fragrance content, beauty content. Even though that was not the initial gist of what I wanted my channel to be around, it was what I was into heavy at the moment. I've always been into fragrances. I've told you guys this before, but I said, let me go ahead and focus on that. But I don't feel like I ever really fully put 110% into the fragrance world. And I think part of that is because fragrance is something that is personal to me, that I love. And there's a little bit of burnout in that because despite how inconsistent I have been with posting, the effort that I have put into it, I don't feel like it's being received how I think it should be or how I thought it should be. And primarily, I told you guys about 2 years ago, I reached out to all of my favorite companies. I pitched myself. I felt like I was doing the legwork to get myself out there, but it wasn't received again in the way that I thought. And so I, in that moment, accepted that, okay, maybe this isn't really what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe this was just an entry into this space, but I got to figure out what my pivot is. And let's take it a step further. I think some of you probably feel the same way that I am feeling when it comes to my content. I even had someone leave a comment letting me know that, fragrances are cool, but I feel like you're meant for something more. And I completely agree with you, sis. If I can find that comment, I'll put it on the screen. But when she said that, that was confirmation for me to really start thinking about what is my pivot? Like, what else can you offer your community? Because I honestly feel like I can give you guys more and not just subpar. But that's what I've been fervently working on so I can be a better creator for you all and a better version of myself. We always want to elevate, right? And so that's where I'm at. I'm kind of struggling with what the pivot is. I'm not saying I don't want to do fragrance content anymore. I, of course, love fragrances and I want to share that with you. But let's be real. I'm not going to chase and buy every single new release that comes out just so I can bring you the fresh and the latest. And I kind of feel like I'm a broken record because I believe I expressed this to you before. But in my personal opinion, in order for me to bring the latest and greatest to you all in regards to fragrances and for it to be sustainable, you have to be backed by sponsorships and partnerships. And I'm just not in that space. I am not being looked at in that way from that realm, if you will. So I embrace that. I accept that. There's no point in getting upset. I just realize that I need to pivot. And so I am struggling with what is the pivot for me that will still be beneficial to you. Because again, I don't want to be putting out content just for the sake of putting out content. I want it to be educational. I want it to be, I guess, entertaining, if you will. But I operate again from a place of passion and I just don't want to put out any old thing. So, all of that just to say that I love fragrances. I will continue to do fragrance videos, but they will decrease. And as I work my way into other spaces and realms that I feel like would be beneficial to my community, I'm going to share more of that, whether that be lifestyle, traveling, other things within my life. And I know I've said this before as well, but again, I'm just trying to like hone in on what is it that I really should be focused on delivering to my community. So that's the headspace that I've been in for a while, just trying to figure all of that out and still be present for you all. So I don't ever want you all to feel like you're being abandoned by me. And I kind of feel like that's what I've been doing. So I do want to apologize for my absence. I've just been working through what lane would really be beneficial to you and me as well so that I can thrive and continue to bring you great content. So this video, I'm going to title it something like a little bit of everything because I did again want to explain my absence, but I also want to share some of my favorite things that I've been loving here lately. It's not a whole lot. I also want to share some new things that I've since added to my stash, if you will. And I don't want this video to be long, so I might also share some fragrances that I've gotten my nose on. I've been sniffing a lot of different fragrances lately, and I want to share my thoughts on that. I might have to cut that and split that into a separate video, but only if you truly want to see that. Because again, I don't want to just put out a video for the sake of putting it out. I really do want it to be beneficial for you, the viewer. And so that brings me joy to be able to assist and help in any way that I can in that space. So if you want to see if you want to see that in a separate video, let me know in the comments down below. If not, that is totally okay. I get it. But I have sniffed quite a few fragrances, not all brand new. A lot of these are fragrances that came out about a year or two ago, and I'm finally getting my nose on them. But yeah, if you want to see that in a separate video, just let me know down below. All right, so let's get into a few things that I have been loving here lately. And like I said, it's not a whole lot, it's mainly fragrances. But the first thing that I want to share with you are some supplements that I'm taking, okay? This is grass fed beef liver. You've probably seen this on social media. At least that's where I first noticed it from. And so when I saw this come across my screen, it was during a time where I shared with you guys that the journey of my hair, right? So the reason why I am short on my way back to maybe a bob or something like that, but the reason why I cut my hair to begin with was because I was shedding so bad. It was so depressing, y'all. Like, I literally was shedding like I was going through postpartum. And it was so sad because I would have anxiety around washing my hair every week or every 2 weeks because I just didn't want to see all the hair fall in the shower or in my comb. It was really bad. Okay. So I did get my blood work done. Of course, I was low in vitamin D. But this is a supplement that will support your iron levels. So, liver is supposed to be the best type of food to help support your blood and iron deficiency. And so when I saw this come across my screen, I of course Googled it, read up on it, and the reviews are pretty good. So I said, why not? Let me go ahead and try it out. This is my second bottle of this. And y'all, when I tell you the shedding has decreased drastically. I still have hair fall, okay? I don't know that the shedding will ever stop at this point, but it's nowhere near what I was experiencing several months ago, even a year ago. And I really attribute the bulk of that to this. This is not the only supplement that I'm taking, but I really feel like this is the battery pack to my whole system that I am taking right now, y'all. I have absolutely no complaints. My hair is fuller. I mean, I have fine hair naturally. I have fine hair, but a lot of strands. So thank the Lord God above that I still have hair on my head. Because y'all, when I tell you I was shedding bad, it was really bad. It was really bad. But I really do like these pills. I will honestly forever keep this in my rotation. This is not just for hair, but I'm of course using it to target the health and regrowth of my hair. But I'll just read a little snippet from the back of this. This powerful, potent superfood is rich with vitamin A, B12, CoQ10, zinc, copper, folate, choline, and hyaluronic acid. So, yeah, has a lot of other benefits, like I said, skin, just healthy function within the blood. But my hair has been just the biggest focus for me, and I really feel like this is the biggest contributor to it. So, one of my absolute favorite things, not just for this month, but I figured I need to come on here and let you guys know. If you have not heard about this already, girl, check it out, okay? Check this out. All right, so my other favorites are fragrances, like I mentioned. And y'all, this first one has me in a complete chokehold, okay? This is Symphony from Louis Vuitton. And if you watched maybe one or two vlogs back, I purchased this for myself for my birthday, y'all. I have wanted this fragrance for a very long time, but if you know anything about this elite line from Louis Vuitton, you know that these bottles are pricey. Okay. Why not use your birthday as the perfect excuse to finally just pull the trigger and pick it up? But when I tell you that I have been spraying her, y'all, this is going to be a problem. Like I said, this ain't cheap, but I cannot put this thing down. And y'all see my dent. My birthday was in February. Y'all see my dent, but in love, in love, in love with this fragrance. The sorcery in this juice is crazy, but it's so freaking good. You've smelled a plethora of freshies, but the way it's done in here, the way the grapefruit is done in here, amazing. I'm not a huge fan of a grapefruit note, but again, the concoction in here is top tier, and so it's been my absolute fave. I've been grabbing for this a lot in May, hence the dent, but it's definitely on my favorite list. All right, Leonora is my second favorite, and I feel like I've talked about her a couple of times now, but she has me in a chokehold, and May was no different. Now, this is perfect for spring. I think it will shine even in the summertime, but sister girl, Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. So she's more fruity than she is floral. I do get some floral aspects, but it's not overly done, which is great. I do get like some creaminess, I get some sweetness, and again, that fruitiness. It's a perfect blend, a beautiful blend. Y'all know Mind Games has me in a chokehold. And Leonora, oh my goodness, she is that girl. This is one of those fragrances where you can't really articulate how pretty she is. You just know. When you smell her, you know. When you see her, you know. Leonora, she is that girl, and she has had me in a chokehold, especially in the month of May. So my last favorite is You Do from Glossier. Y'all, if you can see my dent, it's right here. And I just got this year, okay? When I tell you I've been going in on this fragrance, I've been going in. This right now is bridging the gap between my next purchase of Another 13. Real quick backstory, Another 13 is a staple in my collection, and I missed out on purchasing it during my birthday period, and I do not want to buy it again until my birthday comes back around because it has a sentimental value. So since I missed my window, I'm gonna wait and purchase it, God willing, next year in February. But because I'm waiting, I wanted to pick up something that was kind of familiar in that Ambroxany family, your skin but better type of feel. And I decided to go with this. Now, this again has that Ambroxan note, I believe, but there's a woody, like a heavier woody facet, a creamier facet to it, y'all. And when I tell you I've been loving this, oh, I've been loving this. This is an everyday reacher for me. Easily goes with almost all of my fragrances. And to be quite honest, y'all, I've been layering Leonora and You Do together. And when I say this is a match made in heaven, matter of fact, let me take it back to a compliment story that I got from a young girl, okay? So I was in Home Goods. I was looking for new bath towels. I had worked my way from linens, and then I was going into the bath towel section. And I remember going in this one section and I passed by this lady. And so then I go into the next aisle and I can hear a little girl saying, "Mom, you smell different." And the woman says, "No, that's not me. A lady passed by here not too long ago." And I was like, is that me that she's talking about? So then, about a minute and a half later, this little girl comes into my aisle, right? And she said, "Excuse me, you smell really good." I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. She came to find me to see who was the lady that was leaving the trail. Hey, I can't help. I can't help what Leonora and You Do was doing that day. But she made it a point to come find me and let me know that I smelled really good. And so her mother came up behind her and said, "You smell amazing. When you passed by me in the aisle, I was like, oh, she smells really good." So I definitely had to share that story. And this was the combination that I was wearing. So favorites for the month? Absolutely. Okay, so let's get into what's new. What have I added to my collection since the last time you and I linked up and chatted? So, if you guys remember, a couple or so videos back, I talked about sampling the new Valaya Exclusive, and she was cute, okay? I like her. But the original, that's Bae for life. I don't care. I don't care. Me and the original Valaya are locked in. We are locked in. But I was like, you know what? I think I want the exclusive version too. I don't know. I don't know. But I should have brought my original Vallejo bottle up here. She is denting like bad. And so I am more than halfway done with that bottle. And I said, let's just go ahead and give the Vallejo exclusive and try her out. Let's see how she do. Okay. So I decided to go ahead and add Valaya Exclusive to my collection. And I'm not mad at her. I absolutely love her. But if I had to pick between the two, there's just something about the original that I'm just utterly in love with. She's absolutely gorgeous as well. So no regrets. Happy to have her in my collection. This will also kind of stall me away from spraying the original so much. So you can see she already has a dent too. So I love the fragrance profile. This one is a little bit softer, a little toned down. You know, the original kind of has, when you compare the two, there's a screechiness. And I even hate to use that word, but if I had to say something, there's more of a sharp, let me say sharp. There's a more of a sharper vibe from the original compared to this one. This one is a little bit softer, tiny bit powderier, slightly creamier. But other than that, they're the same to me. But Valaya Exclusive, I added her to my collection. I love her down, baby, okay? Love her down. All right, this next one is Miss Hot Girl on the YouTube streets, honey, and Instagram streets, okay? This is Impadia from BDK. This is heavily popular, okay? This is being heavily talked up. And y'all, for good reason. I really like her. She is very pretty. And the bottle, very impressive as well. Now, I do know that the feedback that I've been hearing, primarily Instagram, really, I'm not watching a whole lot of fragrance content on YouTube, unfortunately. I need to catch up on a lot of my girlies, but I'm in a weird space. Okay, I'm in a weird space. But some of the feedback that I've been hearing was that this had a familiarity with guidance. At first, when I sprayed this, I did not get that. But when I went home recently, my sister had a sample of this. And as soon as I sprayed her sample, I immediately said, oh, I understand why they said guidance. You kind of get guidance, but then it kind of fans out and does something else different. I will tell you, when I first sniffed this, to me, it took me back to AI's third fragrance release. I think that's a more infinite. The way that rose is done and the way the rose is done here, they're kind of related to me. And I even did a side by side. So side by side, they don't smell alike at all. But there's some familiarity that I picked up in here from that fragrance. In a more infinite, there's that white chocolate note, which is very present. By the way, since that bottle has air in it now, it has sat, it is even more beautiful today than it was when I first purchased that. So there's something to say about maceration. That juice is gorgeous, okay? But anyways, when I first sprayed this, it reminded me of a more infinite. I went and I did a side by side. They don't smell alike, but they kind of give me kind of the same thing, same family, if you will. But this is a beauty of a fragrance. It is that rose. She's a light, she's a fun girl rose. This is not your grandma or old lady rose. It has some citrus on top. It has a beautiful pear note, and I love a good pear note, y'all. This is a gorgeous fragrance. It's getting hyped a lot, and for a good reason. I am really glad that I added this to my collection. Can we say obsessed? Listen, I had to clip on my mic on my shirt, which is, hopefully you guys can still hear me. But y'all, when I tell you I'm obsessed with Butta Drop from Fenty Skin, the original, the very first time I tried it, I complained about how greasy I felt it was. But that quickly went away. Like, I was tripping. Like, it is the perfect moisturizing butter for your skin, y'all. I absolutely love Butta Drop, okay? So when they came out with, this is Vanilla Dream in the regular size. They came out with this maybe a year or two ago. And I don't remember if it had the shimmer in it. I think it did, which is why I decided I wasn't going to buy it. Because what I found was there's another scent profile that came out for the holidays. And it smells amazing. I forgot the name of it. But I can't do the shimmer. The shimmer to me is too much. I'm not a shimmery body cream kind of girl. I like shimmer body oil, like when I'm purposely trying to put shimmer in certain areas. But to moisturize my body and have shimmer everywhere, like everywhere, I don't want that. So I decided that, I believe when this originally came out, there was shimmer in it, so I passed on it. But I heard that it smelled amazing. Well, they decided to come out with the jumbo version and there's no shimmer. I was like, yeah, I decided to pick this up because I saw these. So these are, of course, limited edition. I still have the paper on this because I'm not currently using this one. I am in this one right now. This is Guava Getaway, and this one is Citrus Sorbet. This one between the two, I feel like is my favorite, but y'all, I'm currently using this one and I cannot get enough. All my fruity fragrances pair amazing with this body butter, Butta Drop. Oh my gosh, amazing. You do get that guava. It's a nice light scent. It's not overpowering, but it smells so good. Ooh, I could be at somebody's pool right now sipping on a mocktail of some sort that is fruity and sweet with this. Yes, ma'am. I really love the scent of this because you definitely get that feeling of a citrus sorbet. It almost takes me back to when I was in Italy and we were just getting gelato every single night that we were in Italy. It was something to be said about Italy nights and gelato. Listen, this right here was a scent memory that kind of took me back to that. So I really am excited about digging into this later on. I honestly think I'm going to buy a couple more of these because these are limited edition. So I'm absolutely loving how those are going. But for this big jumbo tub, I probably won't break into this until we hit fall because I'm really into the bright and fruity scents. And this is more, to me, this is an everyday kind of vanilla. So y'all, I am obsessed with Butta Drop and Fenty Skin. And yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so sticking with moisturizers, y'all, I did go ahead and pick up the Valaya body cream. Now, I told you, I'm a fiend for Valaya. Me and her, we're like this, okay? So when I saw that this came out, I knew that I needed to grab this and add this to my collection. So this is still in its packaging. I have not opened it yet, but when I sniffed it in store, to me it smells just like the fragrance. So of course, this is a great pairing. Oops. So it comes like this. And they have the stopper packed on the side. So yeah, once you open this up, then you'll put this as your protector. But I haven't started using this yet. Like I said, I'm into the Butta Drop heavy. So, but yeah, I'm definitely excited about pairing this with my fragrance. So Valaya body cream, excited to have this one too. All right, so my last new item was actually something I had no idea was even out there. It wasn't on my radar, nothing. But my girl, Simply Aisha, she did a first impressions of this on Instagram. And I said, hold up, Drake has a fragrance? Summer Mink. Apparently Drake has a fragrance line, Better World Fragrances. And Summer Mink is the release. I don't know if this is the first fragrance from the company. I haven't really delved into that. But when I saw Aisha doing her first impression, I said, let me find out that this is really good. So I took myself to Ulta. I sniffed it out. And I said, at most, I'm going to try it out and probably grab a travel spray. Y'all, I was like, nah. Let me grab the 1 ounce and see what it does, okay? So I've taken out the fragrance, obviously. But this is how it comes. I have the 1 ounce. And you guys, I am kicking myself that I did not buy the 3.4. This right here, oh my gosh. I love it. I absolutely love it. So my first impression of this was, let me find out Drake know what he doing with fragrances. This is gonna be a summer banger. And I love the name of this, Summer Mink. Yeah. So to me, in the opening, I get like a green or herbaceous. It's kind of green, herbaceous, a little spiced, but then it goes into this sweetness, kind of musky, a little creamy. It is absolutely beautiful, absolutely appropriate for the summer. I will say, this does not have the longest or greatest longevity. I think I clocked this at maybe 4.5 hours before I had to top up, but I don't care. This is one of those fragrances that I'm okay with having to respray because I want to be reignited with the feeling that matter of fact, let me spray it right now. Y'all. Oh, this smells so good. This smells so good. Again, that opening might take you for a loop a little bit because it comes out like a little sharp, but it quickly transitions into that sweetness, that slightly creaminess, that muskiness. But that opening is a little green, a little herbaceous, a little spicy, like I said. But I love that this is not a linear fragrance. I love that this has movement. It doesn't have the greatest lasting power, but I don't care. But it's going to be a hit for the summertime. This is absolutely a banger for the summer. I am very much so impressed about this. And I will definitely be picking up the bigger bottle of this. Again, I am kicking myself for only getting the 1 ounce. But while I spray this away, I am enjoying it, okay? I am definitely enjoying it. So while I was perusing and enjoying the fragrance, I saw that there were candles as well that had came out. I decided to pick one up because why not? And this one smelled so good to me. I haven't opened up the packaging yet. But this one is Sweeter Tings from the ones they had in store because they only had 3 options. This, Williamsburg, and one other. I can't remember the name. But this one smelled very good to me. Out of the 3, the best to me. So I decided, let me go ahead and pick this up and try it out. I have not opened this up yet. Currently burning a Bath & Body Works candle right now. So I kind of wanted to wait. Ooh. There's like I don't know what this contraption is. Oh, so you see how it has Sweeter Tings written on there? How cute! So it comes with a gold marker. It says Sweeter Tings for, and then you can write whatever you want to write down there. How nifty and clever is that? Oh, this smells like a little clean, a tiny bit citrus. I cannot wait to burn this, but how clever is that? So yeah, I added the candle. I will go back and try to sniff the other ones just to kind of remind myself what they smelled like, but I just know that this one stood out to me versus the other ones that they had in store. So yeah, I had to grab this too. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and stop here today. Like I figured I would in the beginning of this video, I told you guys I got my nose on quite a bit of fragrances and I wanted to share my thoughts on it, but only if you want to see that content. I don't mind filming that, and it's okay if you don't want to see that. But either way, let me know your thoughts down below. I do want to say thank you guys so much for those of you who just ride this wave with me. I am forever grateful for your viewership. I don't take that for granted. And again, I do apologize for just kind of being sporadic and being absent, but I'm passionate about the things that I do and I am intentional. And so I just want to make sure that I am doing what's right for me as well as being beneficial for you. So thank you guys so much for the continued love and support. And until the next time, y'all, I will definitely see you on the next one.